The other rumor is you've got a single board computer embedded in your brain.
I wish. Not yet. Very soon. And sorry, Eric, I just fixed the YouTube stream. The beginning, we were not transmitting audio correctly, but trust me, there was audio there. No, I mean, I am a single board fanatic, I like to believe. I have my Raspberry Pi 3 running my Diet Pi version of a Pi hole, so no ads on my internal network. Right next to it, I have my Raspberry Pi 4 running Twister OS, which is running my streaming monitoring rig, monitoring the health of my other computers' rigs, and doing some light show notes. Another mini computer right next to that, Rock 64, running my Nextcloud instance where I do all my file sharing and some security stuff that is on there. And then in my garage, I have my Raspberry Pi 3 running my Octoprint server when I get the nudge up to 3D print something. And there was an announcement literally yesterday of a desktop-like single board computer, 8-core ARM processor, 16 gigs of RAM, like $140, and I might pull the trigger on that one.
Well, hopefully more people like Joseph Van Pelt, sorry, can get some money into us, so we can help you buy that new computer.
Yeah, and don't be shocked if Josh does jump in. I'm pretty sure the second we count him out to not showing up is when he's going to show up.
Yeah. So he has done this in the past. So he's welcome to join us at any time.
Yeah, and
how you been anyway?
I've been okay. I had a test on the 4th, tested positive. Had a test on the 10th, tested positive. So tomorrow I'm going to go have another test. Hopefully I don't test positive then. My work said, well, you can still come back to work. I said, just because you said I can come back to work does not mean I feel completely confident and safe about going back to work. So no, I'm not.
Do they miss you? Because you can't work from home, can you?
Now, in the past 3 weeks, they've changed teleworking policies 4 times to where now everybody telecommutes 100% of the time again. But my belief that's only going to happen for maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't understand some organizations. I worked for a place a while ago, and they did have a remote access solution, but it was very bad. You had to actually have your computer turned on at your desk, and you just had to use remote login from your home computer on a separate machine to use it, and it wasn't very quick or secure. So I hope they've changed. I'm pretty sure they would have changed that access.
Right. Yeah. And 2 quickies. One, Eric, I'd always much rather, this is one thing that Leo Laporte did tell me, you always want the listener to have to go turn the volume down versus turn the volume up, because you'll always have a listener that can't turn it up any louder. So you always want to have your content to be as loud as possible. So loud's good. 2, I kind of do the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. I've work computer, work laptop, VPN in. I can do everything on that laptop, but I also have a desktop at work. When I have network intensive things I got to do, I do it on that box, because it literally takes 10 times shorter amount of time. Like if I have to do some really serious database querying and then sorting after the fact, I do that on my desktop rig.
Yeah, cool. Well, I've been stuck at home on my own for the last few days. My wife and children have left me to go on holiday up in the Bay of Plenty. And they'll be there until Sunday. So I've been here on my own looking after the sheep and the cat. It's been great. It's I have obviously missed my wife and kids very much, but I've eaten a lot of protein.
You say they went there. All I could hear in my head was that they went to Bonnie Doon.
Bonnie Doon. Yeah, they just went to Bonnie Doon. That's our default holiday location.
Right. Well, then it seems to me like you got the one Christmas present that every father's been asking for like the last 300 years.
To be left alone.
Which is peace and quiet.
Peace and quiet, yeah. Well, the cat's a bit annoying sometimes.
Well, if cats aren't annoying, you can be rest assured they're dead.
I'll have to remember that one.
I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah, so my menu for eating alone is consisting of a lot of steak and potatoes.
That's good. Hey, steak's always good. I will say I'm getting, I think, a lot better at my final surveying of my proteins, my steaks, chickens, and pork chops, to where I put just a little bit of butter in the pan, just enough to cover the bottom of the pan, turn it up as hot as I can possibly get it to where the smoke alarm is nearly going off.
Mm.
Pull the steak out of the sous vide, pat dry it, and throw it in the pan for like 10 seconds per side, and it gets that nice crisp sear on
Yep.
the outside.
Yeah, that's what you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people even use a blowtorch. You know, those things they use for.
I try. My blowtorch is literally only that big, and it's a genetic problem. I need a bigger blowtorch. You know, it just does. It just takes too long.
Okay, well, that's enough about protein. What have you got for us in the world of Android tech?
Well, I mean, the first one I wanted to bring, it is, I believe it's technically a Kickstarter thing, and I really do not like bringing crowd-funded things without them being from either a really credited source, somebody who's done crowdfunding before and was very successful, or it's something that I just cannot stop thinking could be really useful. And unfortunately, this is only the second of the two. I'm going to pronounce this uh, Domethics, Domethics. And it says on Hackster.io, Domethics aims to turn your old smartphones into smart home powerhouses with RDO. The long and the short of it is, everybody in 2022 has old smartphones laying around.
Yep.
It's just a fact of life. What this aims to do is to basically turn that into more of a home hub type solution that can handle things. If you're familiar at all with Home Assistant IO, it's trying to do some of that where it can monitor, like a motion sensor kind of monitoring thing. It can do home reminders kind of thing. It can do facial recognition. So technically I could have my kids' faces mapped into it and say, when Danny walks in the kitchen, remind him to dust, or stuff like that. I'll just put it like this. This is the kind of thing I find extremely interesting because you want to take advantage of things you already have. And like everyone has the old cell phone. So I'm interested to see if this is going to get any traction whatsoever. Because if it gets any traction whatsoever, I will deem it a success. And then real quick, it is going to have built into it Zigbee and Z-Wave communication ability, where if you already have smart outlets, smart plugs, or smart devices that use those protocols, it could work again. No mention about the next generation IoT protocol called Matter. I didn't see it mention that, but I'll just say it's interesting to me. I want these kinds of things to be more successful, to drive the prices down, and hopefully become a little bit more accessible to everybody.
Yeah, because I think there's nothing new about using an old smartphone to control your smart home or your smart home devices, but this seems to be a more innovative way of doing that. So it seems promising, but I noticed in the chat, Swift says he's got a lot of old smartphones, but the screens are all either busted or don't power on. Is usually the reason we have these old cell phones sitting in a drawer is because there's a problem with them. If you've got one that works okay, yeah, you might be fine. But if you've got some old busted ones in there that have got issues, like I think the main problem with old cell phones is mainly their battery life. They don't tend to last very long.
Right. Well, I'll say if you already preemptively prepared for a broken screen, and I had to say that very slowly, then you could have like VNC type software in, and you could hypothetically control this from a laptop or desktop then. If you thought about it ahead of time. This, I believe, only needs Wi-Fi access, but I do know that they did mention that it is, mobile network compatible. I, for one, would never pay a mobile fee for something that's going to sit in my house 24/7, even if I'm worried about my Wi-Fi going down, even if I'm worried about a power outage and a burglar. No, I'm not paying a monthly mobile data fee.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. But it seems like a great idea. Certainly gives people a reason to use reusing their old devices that are just sitting in a drawer doing nothing.
Or quite literally right now, you can go out and get like really cheap burner phones. Don't initiate the contract for less than like $60. So even if you didn't have one sitting around, there are affordable, in air quotes, solutions besides going to eBay or Swappa.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I use an old cell phone for my security camera. And it's a monitor for my security. I've got a security camera. It's linked to my cell phone, my old cell phone, and I've got it sitting here on my desk, looking out for goats coming up onto my deck.
Right.
I've got an article here. Well, it's not so much an article, but a tweet. I don't know if you've seen this already. This came through from MKBHD, who's Marquez Brownlee. He's got a very successful YouTube channel, which deals with mobile tech and, well, just technology in general. He's very popular. But he's talking about the Pixel 6 Pro, which is, he's saying it's slowly gotten so buggy since its launch in October that he can no longer recommend it at $900. Combined with the latest botched update, it's just been a bad experience. He's put his SIM back in his S21 Ultra till the next review. Now, for a guy like Marquez with the following he's got, to come out with a tweet like this about the latest Pixel is it's quite bad news, I think, for Google, and kind of indicative of the issues that they've always had with their hardware around Pixel phones, not really getting any better, despite them buying who was it, HTC's hardware division.
What I'll say is it doesn't matter. It's already too late. 99.9% of all Pixel 6 Pro purchases have already been done in its lifetime. I have no problem saying that. So they've already made, if they're going to make any money off of it, they already did. But I will say, to me, if I had to guess, the only time you have an issue over time, it isn't the operating system. It really isn't. It's the quality of internal eMMC hard drive storage that they used. The thing I know about internal eMMCs is there's now many different types of standards you can get, whether it's single channel, dual channel, multi-channel, whatever. They each are different quality, different speeds, different error rates. It wouldn't shock me if that's where they decided to chintz out on the phone, is in the eMMC, because there's always going to be a bottleneck. Sometimes it's the bus, sometimes it's the RAM, sometimes it's the Wi-Fi antenna or the mobile data antenna. I'm going to guess the bottleneck on this is going to be the eMMC degrading over time. And I do believe he's right. And I also believe he is an intense user of his devices. If he's seeing it, right, if he's seeing it in, 6 months, it would probably take the normal user a year and a half to see the same issue.
Yep. But it's just interesting because he's normally pretty enthusiastic about the Pixels. And he acknowledges that they are more of a budget option than the iPhone. But, for him to come out with this kind of negative comment is quite damning, I think, for Google.
It is, but you got to also remember, he's not going to say this kind of thing about Samsung. He's not going to say this kind of thing about the big brands because he gets everything for free. He can say this about Google because it's Google. You know what I mean? Nobody is going to change their entire family purchases based upon this thing, because you have entire families buying iPhones, entire families buying Sonys, entire families buying Samsungs. I never heard of entire families buying Pixel devices. Yeah,
the Pixel has never been a big contributor to sales. But I just thought this was interesting.
No, but I do believe it. I'll put it like this. I do believe he's right. I do believe what he's saying is accurate as far as his perception of reality is. But I do believe because of the success of that tensor processor, it doesn't matter. He says the Pixel 7 is going to be more successful than the 6, which is more successful than the 5.
I'm noticing a trend.
Well, I mean, with that tensor processor, I've never heard anybody who I respect as being a tech knowledgeable person say how that was a very bad choice or how it is not performing like X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the way it should go, but it sounds like they haven't got their software sorted out yet around it. So
I mean, in my experience, Google is no Apple. Google is, I don't want to say they're like Microsoft, but it seems like Microsoft can't put out anything that's perfect. There has to be something that's like a critical flaw in everything they put out. So maybe Google is doomed to do the same.
Microsoft Kryptonite.
Yeah.
There's a show title. I'm writing that down.
Yeah. Do a quick copy paste. And now what I got was actually, it was a recommendation from my oldest son. He typically is very hesitant, is the way I'm going to put it, about recommending anything to me because 99% of the things he talks about, I knew about, 6 months ago or kind of thing. Or I think he fears I'm going to just look at him like he's an idiot, which is fair. That's a very fair thing to worry about. But this one actually did catch my eye a little bit. I did play with it for just 5 minutes and I got what it was trying to do. It is called While True, Learn in brackets by Naval International. It's under educational application, which I can't believe my son on his own downloaded an educational application. I'm pretty sure we're going to have some worlds exploding or something. E for everyone. It is added to the family library right now. Currently 728 reviews, 4.6 average reviews, updated October 29th, 2020. So well over a year ago. 144 megs in size, 10,000 plus installs, current version 1.2.94. You need Android 6 and up. Content rating, again, E for everyone. Permission, I'd say it needs next to no access is the way I'm going to put it. And what this is, this looks like it's not using a real, in air quote, programming language, programming structure, programming interface, or anything, okay? But what it's trying to do is it's trying to help people understand how to do technical problem solving, is the way I'm going to put it. A lot of the interface is like the Scratch. It's a lot like the old Google app builder, where you just drag and drop pieces around.
Yep,
you can build automation routines, is the way I'm going to put it. Now, the real reason I'm okay with this not being a real, in air quote, programming language or a real IDE or a real interface is right now my current 9-to-5 job is 100% dealing with something, an application, an infrastructure, a coding base, verbiage, lingo, standards that don't exist anywhere else except by this one company that's making it. So it's literally the kind of one-off offshoot that could have been put into a game and no one would know it's a real thing. It's low code programming is what I do. This looks like it's more of no code programming, which is it's an actual thing out there. So if you like digital problem solving, or you want to have someone learn digital problem solving and how to do and or gates and a lot of basic things like that, this was actually pretty interesting. I'm not going to lie.
How long did your son spend on it? Is it engaging, or did he spend 5 minutes and then put it down?
He was on his second week of playing it for at least a little bit every day when he mentioned it to me, which shocked me because, yes, he typically picks stuff up and puts it down.
Oh, cool. Because last Christmas we got my son a little robot that you put together like a Lego set, and you program it on your computer using Scratch, and it can do a series of actions like turn right, turn left, go straight ahead for this distance, and you had to program it in Scratch to do those things. He got the hang of it really easily, but it never really developed on from there. So maybe I should show this to him and see if he takes it any further.
Well, and like the only caveat I'll give about this is, to me, I needed a tablet or a Chromebook screen in order to be really able to see everything and grasp everything. He was perfectly fine being on a phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I suppose the bigger screen would help. Cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to go on a little bit of a rant for a little while because I haven't done that for a while. But over the last week, I've been having a look on the Google Play Store for apps that I could bring for the show. And what I like to do is try and bring apps that are kind of useful to me in real life, in my own life. So I've been having an increasingly difficult time finding any decent apps that sort of fit those criteria. Plenty of games, I suppose I could do, but I'm kind of losing interest. The older I get, I lose interest in games more. And Eric, no, it's not a China rant. This is a Google rant. So I have spent a bit of time in the F-Droid store looking for open source apps, and the difference I noticed between the F-Droid and the Google Play Store is night and day. Sorry, my Google Assistant just went off. Yeah, it's night and day. The kind of apps I'm finding on the F-Droid store are far more useful, far more practical. They're designed and developed with regular people in mind. They're not really. They don't have that sort of advertising incentive for people. They're just really apps that appear to be built by developers for people. I don't know, Dor, have you spent much time on the F-Droid store lately?
Not lately, but over time I am well versed with it. You say normal people, and I have to say normal as far as you see it. The Android store, the Android Google Play Store, is for the normal people who don't know nothing. I call them the straights. For nerds or people who like to geek out and get more into productivity, more into organization, more into development, more into programming, more into hands-on control thing, that's where F-Droid is their home.
Yeah, well, I believe in using technology to improve my life or to make it easier. And so if I can use an Android app that will do things for me that makes my life easier, then I'm very happy. But I fully accept that other people aren't really looking for that. They just want to play a game, or they want to, they don't really care too much about privacy concerns. But if you are, as Dor puts it, a dork or a nerd, check out the F-Droid store. So one of the things that I've come across on the F-Droid store is an app called Show YouTube Dislikes. I don't know if you remember back in November. I'll just put the link in the chat here. Back in November, YouTube suddenly decided to stop showing dislikes and the ratio of likes to dislikes on YouTube. So there was a website that was set up called what was it called? ReturnYouTubeDislikes.com. So you can go to ReturnYouTubeDislikes.com, and this app is basically an appified version of that website. Basically, how it works is that you put in the YouTube URL. You can share directly from the YouTube app itself, or from from on your phone directly to the show YouTube dislikes, and it just shows you a very simple display of the number of likes to dislikes and the ratio that you've got there. How it does it, I don't know. Obviously, people can still show their dislikes when they're watching a YouTube video, but yeah, it's just a very simple little app like this that I thought was an innovative approach to providing apps for people who want to improve their lives, or to get information that a lot of people may not have access to otherwise.
Yeah, and I'll say I do like the fact that everything in F-Droid is vettable. And what I mean is, you as a user can look at all of the source code to anything you get on F-Droid. That is, I think, the rule to submitting apps on F-Droid. So because of that, like you said, it is not click driven. It is not ad driven. It is not driven by commercial goals. It's just trying to put out better apps. Yeah, somehow YouTube is still storing the number of dislikes, and it is still publicly accessible via API calls, but it's not surfaceable in their app or the default YouTube experience.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I don't want to say it like this, but I get why they're hiding the dislikes, because in this supercharged, politically correct time, you can't say bad stuff. So if you can't say bad stuff, you can't show how many dislikes there are. And I think really the reason they started this was because they got so incredibly butthurt when they put out that year in review, maybe 2019, and it received like 10 times more dislikes than likes because it was so bad.
Yeah, but I mean, so what? Wouldn't it be more valuable to them to know that people don't like what they're doing? I suppose they know that, but they don't want to show other people that they're doing badly. What is it?
Well, I'll say, in the true algorithm of YouTube, the worst thing you can do is watch a video and then go to your history. No, I'm sorry. The worst thing you can do is watch only the first couple of seconds of a video and stop watching it. The next worst thing you can do is watch the video to its completion, then go to your history and say remove from history. The next worst thing you can do is click down, and the good thing you can do is click up. So quite literally, the next best thing you can do to saying like is saying dislike as far as the algorithm's concerned. Because, and the truth is, we all know negative content drives people to watch and share more negative content in general.
And the internet proves again that basically you can do what you like, but you're not gonna hide everything from everybody.
Well, for now, until they decide that you can no longer access this data via API, which I don't think they're going to do unless it becomes incredibly popular for popular YouTubers to say, well, that other person had, 18,000 dislikes, and here's how you can see it. But I don't expect them to do that.
Yeah. You think they would let creators who are putting their videos up there to determine themselves whether they want to show the dislike to like ratios. Leave it up to the creators themselves.
That would make sense.
Show it. Yeah,
it would absolutely make sense. And I'll take just a quick second to say, if you do like, let's say 5 apps in F-Droid, at least go through the description of one of them, find how you can support them, and at least send them $1 or $2, just because they don't get any other support any other way.
Yeah. Also, I would mention that just because it's open source doesn't mean it's completely secure either. So just be careful about the sort of apps you're trying to install, because it doesn't have the same controls that the Google Play Store does.
Right. And it's not updated typically as frequently as the Google Play Store is. So if there is even something accidentally in the app that makes it less secure, it might take longer for it to get the update. Might.
Yeah.
But yes, in Google Play, they do their scraping and figuring out if an app is malicious. F-Droid relies on its users to look at the source code to see if something is malicious. Very cool. Very good find. The app that I found is because I heard many people talk about having to pay like good money to get teleprompter solutions, spending like hundreds of bucks, and I don't understand it. Where you can literally go on Amazon and buy this isosceles triangle extruded out, where you can put a phone or tablet in it. It has a 2-way mirror in it to where you can look directly at the camera, yet you can see the text that you have scripted ready to say. It literally costs like $10, $20. It's super dirt cheap. And then here is an app that you can download on GitHub, which basically you can run on Windows, Mac, or Linux, or Android, which is why I bought it, because it really does fit phone, tablet, form factor size. And you can load this app. It's called Q Prompt, and it is a pun, CUE prompt, but it's spelled Q, PROMPT. And it basically allows you to use your Windows, Mac, Linux, or Android device as a teleprompter, where you can easily load text in it, and you can easily control the speed of it, and just, have yourself a homegrown teleprompter.
Yeah, this looks really good. I meant to actually have a go at it before our session today, but I never got around to it. But I think I might have a try at it next week. See how we go.
Yeah. I will say the true pro things typically have dedicated controls where you can speed up, slow down, or pause prompting. If you do this on a laptop, up, down arrow, and space bar controls the speed and flow. On Android, you might have to do like a Bluetooth keyboard connection to it to get like some advanced controls.
So the GitHub link here provides the APK file for downloading as well. Is there an APK for it?
Yeah, it gives you the choices to where you can download it for Windows, Mac, Linux, or for the APK file.
Okay, cool. Have you tried it?
I downloaded it just on my phone, saw that it worked, downloaded it on my work laptop, and it seemed like it just did what it's advertised. You load text in a file, and it auto scrolls it for you.
Oh, awesome. I'll have to definitely give that one a go. Okay, now, do we have any emails? I don't think we do we?
No emails, just a really quick comment to the community at large. Actually, 2 quick community comments. One, somebody approached us late December asking about doing ads for January. Well, I learned from people much smarter than myself in the past, when you don't want to do something, then you quote a number that there's no way they're going to say yes to. So if they do say yes to it, at least you're getting paid what you consider to be okay money kind of thing.
Exorbitantly, at least.
Yeah. So I said enough money to where me, Josh, and Ivor could get a decent computer and pay all of the taxes on it throughout the year kind of thing. And of course, we haven't heard
And a
back from it
Tesla.
yet. Well, no, not Tesla. So if you hear in the next couple of weeks an ad on this show, trust me, it's not because I like the product. It's because I like the money. Because quite literally, my main rig was a donated HP i7 laptop from like 7 years ago, no, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. My main desktops are at least 7 or 8 years old, so it would be nice to have something, new. Is what I'm going to say. Now with that,
Definitely.
right now with that, we do not have any emails, but do not forget, super easy, aaa@podnutz.com. You can send us a voicemail at 7076 Podnut. You can send us messages in either Discord, on Twitter. You can try to send it on Facebook. I don't know if I'm going to see it. Or you could send them on YouTube itself.
And don't forget the Voxer chat. If you want to download and install Voxer, join the AAA chat. We usually have a good conversation going on there on a daily basis. So come along and join us there.
And it's super easy to join. Now the quick tangent I want to go on, you had your tangent, I have mine. We did have some Google News happen in the last 2 weeks. Some of it was CES related, and some of it was just news in general kind of thing. The one thing that I was close to see, we had our predictions, and I was talking about how offloading computing power from one Android device or one Google device to another Google device to try to make everything be a little bit more synergistic. And I was so close. Less than a week later, they announced basically they want to be able to have seamless integration with your Android messages and your Android notifications and your Android experience on any Chromebook, any MacBook, or any Windows, or any Mac, or any Windows computer. So
Wow.
what I'm thinking they're going to do is how we used to have back in the day when you installed Chrome, it also installed a behind the scenes app updater. So what I'm going to guess is the next time soon when you go to install Chrome, it's going to ask about purposely keeping it open in the notification area. So if you get a text message or a phone call or an email, you'll be prompted on that computer. They also mentioned they're going to have much more quick connect capabilities to where it'll be extremely easy to connect your headphones to your phone, to your tablet, to your laptop, and easily connect your phone to your laptop or your desktop kind of thing. So that's the kind of synergistic thing it turns out that they're going to work on here in 2022.
Yeah, well, one thing I always liked about Chromebooks was you could connect your phone via Bluetooth, and whenever you came within 10 meters of your Chromebook, it would automatically unlock, and you could use it.
Right.
And then you could turn it on and off if you want. But yeah, that was extremely useful because I have an extremely long convoluted password. I don't want to keep entering it every time I log into a Chromebook. So that's good.
Yeah, and I do the same thing, but with my phone, where as long as my earbud is connected to my phone, it doesn't lock. Which I know for security reasons is horrible, but I don't care. I have my phone on my person 99% of the time, so the likelihood of anyone getting information off of it without my knowledge is going to be great or grand. But it doesn't matter. I mean, like my oldest son, I made sure his fingerprint would unlock my phone. My wife, I made sure her fingerprint would unlock my phone too. So,
oh, that's a good point. Actually, I should make sure that my wife can access my phone as well. Or maybe I don't.
well, that's the thing. We all make our own choices. None of them are wrong, but we all make our own choices.
Yeah, but maybe we should stay away from that for a while.
I'm not commenting.
Well, I found an app the other day. I managed to find one on the Play Store. Hang on, let me just get the link here. This app is called 4-Stroke Auto Engine Educational VR 3D. Now, don't let the name fool you. This is not a VR application. It's one that will work straight off the phone. You don't have to have a set of VR goggles. But the reason I became interested in this particular app was because my young daughter is interested in pursuing a career in mechanical engineering, and I sent her this app with the request for her to have a look at it, because basically what it does, it explains in great detail, not great detail, but it explains in a fantastically graphical way the workings of the internal combustion engine. And it does it. I'll just give you a few details on the app first. So it's last updated in May 2019, which is a while ago now, but it still works pretty well. It's got over 1 million installs. It requires Android 4.4 and up, current version 1.94. Current rating is 4.7 out of 5, so that's pretty good. And I wanted to show like a screen share of this, so I'll just share my screen, and you can see the app in action, because it really is quite impressive. Hang on a sec. There it is. Okay. So you can see my screen there, Dor?
Not yet. And it's coming.
Okay. So it starts off with a splash screen of how to use the app. It's quite easy. I can zoom in on the app, and it's showing, basically for people on audio, it's showing like a car in an X-ray view. It's showing just the components of a car. So you can zoom in on the car. You can turn it around full 360 degrees. You can go up and down from that side. And basically, it's got a bunch of menu options down the bottom. So the first one is engine, and it will then zoom in on the engine, and it will show you the workings of the engine. You can zoom in on that. So that's the engine. Then you can go into the cylinders, and it shows you how each of the cylinders work. It goes into the operation of the cylinders. It gives a little explanation there on the side as to what's happening in the picture. So you can see the valve is pushing out the exhaust fumes. And then you've got another example of this shows what happens on the first stroke. So we get the fuel that gets injected into the chamber, and we go into the second one, and it gets pushed up and exploded. And then the third stroke comes back down again from the explosive force. And then you end up with the exhaust fumes being pushed out again on the fourth stroke. It's got an option down here at the bottom. You can draw things on the screen. So I can go and draw around or highlight certain parts of the diagram. So that's quite a good option. If you're trying to show other people, you can add labels. So it shows you all the different labels of the components, what they're called. You can change the size and font of the labels, etc. You've got different language versions you can try. It's got a manual on how to use the app itself. I was very, very impressed with the production values, even though it's an old one. I was very, very impressed with the production values of the app itself, and was quite impressed as a learning aid for young people to understand how the actual internal combustion engine actually works, because a lot of people don't really understand it, myself included, until I saw this. Now, another cool thing it has here is a quiz, and it shows you the diagram of the vehicle, and if you want to find the differential gear, you have to select the component on here. Maybe the differential's there. No, that's not right. No, that's not right. That's not right. So you go through it, and obviously you can do abysmally until you know where all the different components of the engine are. Obviously, I need to do some work on that. But if you've got someone who's keen on internal combustion engines, or wanting to learn how to be a mechanic, then this seems to be a great little app for them to spend some time with.
Yeah, and this is the kind of app I'm okay with it not being updated frequently, because how often does it change? I mean, how often does an engine change? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
That, and I'm completely shocked at the quality of the application, yet it's free. And there's no in-app purchase and no in-app ads.
Yeah, absolutely free. It's really good.
Yeah. I have my sister-in-law's soon-to-be husband kid wants to be a mechanic when he gets older.
Yep.
He can't hear out of one of his ears, so he can't go into the military. So he said, I want to be a mechanic. They only have iDevices because, they're fascist people, but I digress.
They're fascist.
but then their neighbor is a truck driver, owns his own trucks. And one of the presents they got for him for Christmas was literally a see-through engine that you put together by hand and crank and see how everything runs. This is the perfect kind of companion app for me to show him because they're an Android house because they don't trust fascist people. They also homeschool and they're a little paranoid about government, but I digress.
Do they own guns?
Between them all, yes, many guns. Because here's the dirty secret about America. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
We own more guns per person than any country in the world. But so everyone thinks all Americans own guns. Nope. Nay, not true. Most Americans don't own guns. Over 80% of Americans don't own guns. 1% of Americans own 100 guns.
They own all the guns.
That's why we have more guns than people in the United States, because we have people that go gun cuckoo crazy. We like big cars, we like monster trucks, we want big pools in our backyards, and then some people want to open a door up and Matrix style have enough for Armageddon.
Well, I can certainly understand that sentiment.
Well, and I'm not one of them, because me and my wife know. If we had a gun, one of us would have been dead by now. And the odds are...
Well, Ricky Gervais bit was about if he had a gun, there'd be quite a lot of things he would have given up about right now. He would be dead because he can't handle life.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm okay. But here's the thing: I'm okay with everybody else in the world owning a gun. Just don't point it at me. That's all I want. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
not get into the gun debate.
I know. Well, there is no debate. In here, everyone should have a gun. Like Oprah handing out cars. You know what I mean? When you go register to vote, here's a gun. You're the 100th shopper today. Have a gun. That's the American way. This app, again, I just can't say it enough, Ivor. I am shocked at the quality of application, yet free. Blows my mind.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, permissions, nothing, which is the way it should be. Okay. Now my app I'm going to bring is a totally different kind of app. The good thing about it is completely free and there is no in-app purchases and it is a free app and there is no ads, but that's where the similarities end. The way I'm going to say this in as nice of an American fashion as I can, this is an Indian centric app that if it becomes popular, I'm sure will be available everywhere around the world. It is called GeoMeet, J-I-O Meet, M-E-E-T, by Geo Platforms Limited Communications, E for everyone, no in-app purchases, no in-app ads, free to download, no current ratings on the thing, updated October 26, 2021, 72 megs in size, 100,000 plus installs, current version 3.4.3.1, 5.0 Android and up. Definitely going to need some permissions the way I'm going to put it. It wouldn't shock me if this application is Jitsi Meet taken down from the internet and then recompiled to be their own product. And that's not a diss. Jitsi Meet code is available for anyone to copy and download and reproduce video conferencing solutions. Okay. How this one is at least a little bit different to me. This is a one-on-one voice, video, or text platform, or you could literally have rooms or conference rooms with 100 people in it at once. So you can literally have 100 cameras going at once and having like a free-for-all conference. Currently, I'm pretty sure this is only available to, again, Indian-centric devices, but I do picture within time it should become more available. So this is the kind of thing. If you want to literally have a conference, a video conference in your pocket with 100 people, then you're going to need this kind of app.
Yeah, it's the future, isn't it? India is underestimated, and they come out with mass products that can be used by a lot of people at the same time. And if you're looking for something like that, then why not try it?
Yeah, and Corona withstanding, they are going to be the #1 most populous country, the #1 most populous economy in the world. It's only a question of how long it's going to take.
Yeah, and there's so many interesting things coming out in terms of their software development, their hardware manufacturing capabilities. It's really developed a hell of a lot since early days
Yeah,
when it was really just considered a third country back world,
yeah. I want to say starting in
third
the
world
late
country.
I want to say starting in the late '90s, they made it to where everybody graduating high school had to have a JavaScript um,
Yeah,
class.
yeah, yeah.
In America, you still are not required to have any computer education class. Now, my oldest son is in some kind of really bad technology class, and I ask him what he's learning, and he tries to show me, and it's like, this is Boulder Dash. This is
Mm,
useless. This is junk.
yeah.
We call it
Well,
Bush League.
I think my my older sons, when they were in high school, they were learning things like Excel and Word and PowerPoint, and they weren't really learning a hell of a lot about computers themselves. They were just
Right.
learning how to use the software, how to be a drone, which
Right.
didn't really impress me very much.
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, have you actually signed up for that, Geo?
Yeah. Not
And you've used it?
compatible with any of my devices.
It's not compatible, or it is?
Not compatible with any of my devices.
Oh, okay, I think that's what usually shows up when it can't be used in your country. But I'm not sure if it can be used.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it made it very clear that it is made in India, and so.
Well, it says at the bottom here, we only support Indian mobile numbers.
Hmm.
But keep an eye on it, because I think definitely we'll see more from Indian developers, particularly like this, trying to get into the American market as well.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
and people are always looking for alternatives from Facebook or whoever.
Yep, yep. And I have to say, every single Indian person I've ever met or ever worked with has been absolutely fantastic.
Mm,
They're just nice people.
all but one. There's one guy I like to choke. I'd like to
There's always one guy, isn't there?
bounce his head off the concrete. But everyone else, yeah, you're right, golden, hardworking.
Yeah, yeah. Great people. Okay. Well, I've got another F-Droid app here, and this is one I tried out with my brother earlier today just to make sure it worked all right. And I wanted to get your view on this one, Dor, because I wasn't too sure about the security aspects of it. So it's called Pushy. It's a temporarily secure password sharing app. So if you want to share your Netflix password or whatever password with a friend or relative, you can just put it into this application. It will allow you to set expiry for basically creates a URL that person can go to and view the password. And it shows up as being blurred when they open the website, and then it doesn't become unblurred until they click on it and they want to see it. You can set the number of days till it expires, or the number of views till it expires, or a combination of the two. And that's really, again, a very simple utility application that can help make your life easier. But I wasn't too sure about the security aspects of it, and I know it does use the clipboard. So when you enter the password, it'll copy it to your clipboard, and then you have to share it from your clipboard. But yeah, be keen to get your view on it, Dor.
Well, I say first off, I don't like the fact that it uses their website um to basically host in air quotes the password. Um,
Yeah,
if it is absolutely 100% sure it's only going to be able to be shown once, that helps, but that doesn't mean that the website itself is not logging anything, is the way I'll put it.
yeah.
So when it gives you the URL, do you know if it's PUSHIE dot something?
Yeah, hang on, let me just check. the URL used earlier today goes through https pwpush.com.
The password pusher is what it's called. So it looks like it might not even be using its own. Okay, so Pushy in Google, in F-Droid, it looks like it might be just a layer on top of pusher password or passwordpusher.com.
Just a website.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know, but here's the thing. Doesn't mean it's inherently bad that it's a website. It would be much better if it's peer-to-peer, like Signal type communications, but that would then mean you would have to be a little bit more careful about how you connect to people. And see, so then what we would need is we would need both of these to be independently audited by third parties. pwpush.com independently audited and Pushy independently audited, just to be sure that nothing is being bad. So here's what I do. If you want to be 100% sure that you're 100% safe, what I would do is I would hypothetically, the password is Podnutz123, Podnutz123. I would literally, in one application, send Podnutz123, and then via a text message, say that plus Podnutz123. I would literally split the password into two different pieces if you're not feeling 100% safe with whatever platform you're using. Because I honestly do that now with my wife. Whenever I send her password, I always tell her, she knows email is the primary, text is the secondary. So I literally email her the first half of the password and I send her via text message the second half of the password.
Yeah, I imagine this would be useful to someone whose email may have been compromised already, so they don't want to use the email or their phone, or their laptop. So that if they're on their phone, they can provide a new password to tech support or something like that securely. But yeah, I suppose it's got a limited use case. But I thought it might, it is provide a bit more assurance.
Yeah, it is definitely interesting. What I don't understand is why on pwpush.com you would want to set the expiration to 90 days and 100 views.
Yeah.
If you're sending something with 90 days and 100 views, it's really not that secure. You might as well post it on Twitter.
Yeah, you might as well. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I thought it was a good app for just what I've been talking about in terms of the simple basic apps that provide point solutions for people at points in time.
Right. And I'll say the other honestly good thing about that app is it's obscure. If someone's trying to target you to get your information, they're not going to inherently know, well, let's look at Pushy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's another advantage of F-Droid apps, that not many people know about them.
Yeah, true. The app I'm going to bring here, it comes with a caveat. It comes because it's actually kind of a news story, not because I'm ever going to install this and not because I'm encouraging anybody on the face of this planet to install this app. But Facebook, like a year ago or so, maybe now 2 years ago, said that they were going to come out with their own cryptocurrency. And the split second they did, the entire Congress went completely nuts, bonkers on how they can't be trusted kind of thing. I'm neither here or there on can you trust Facebook. I don't trust Congress. I mean, hell. So what I'm going to say is, so instead of doing their own cryptocurrency, they're kind of making their own bank. Now, if I stop and ask you which one's more dangerous, I'm going to guess it's actually the bank. So what it is Novi, N-O-V-I, looks nothing like the Facebook icon, says it's developed by Meta Platform Inc. So moving forward, when they want to hide what they're doing, they're going to call it Meta Platform Inc. because there isn't a grandparent or a 10-year-old that's going to think Meta Platform, that's Facebook. Only the people that know, kind of like Google with Alphabet. You know what I mean? When they don't want to say Google's doing it, they say, well, no, this other company's doing it. It's under finance, E for everyone, 167 reviews, free to download, no ads, no in-app purchases, 4.1 average reviews, updated January 10th, 2022. Size varies with device. Already 50,000 installs. Current version 9.0.0.2.470. This thing has been iterated a lot, or they bought it from somebody and started iterate it. 6.0 Android and up. Again, E for everyone, and it's going to need every bit of access to your phone as it could possibly get, as it looks like. Location, camera, storage, photo, media, files, contact, network. Yeah, everything. So this is going to allow you to, in air quote, send money from one Facebook user to another. So it's basically using Facebook as the protocol, or as the platform, as the account system to send money back and forth.
Facebook money or regular money? Money.
You're going to send regular money, but if I send it to you, it's going to be translated to your local monetary system. So even though I'm sending US dollars, you're getting whatever you guys use. If I send it to Japan, they're going to use another one. If I send it to Germany, they're going to use their own system. So yeah, it's them basically being the international intermediary of sending money, as long as you're both on Facebook.
Well, that sounds frightening.
I don't like anything about this whatsoever. I mean,
No.
The only time I could see using it is if an advertiser says they wants to give us, $6,000, but it's only available via Navi.
Yeah.
Then I might use it.
I suppose it makes sense for trying to keep Facebook customers using Facebook. And did you have a look at the permissions?
Oh yeah, it's everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Everything. Right. Access to your firstborn, access to your underwear drawer, everything. Yeah. Well, I mean, and here's what my belief is. All this reaction from Facebook saying they're going to do a cryptocurrency, now doing this, doing their own banking transfer system, is them just reactionary, trying to catch up to the WhatsApp ecosystem, where I believe, was it WhatsApp? There's one in Japan and China where you do everything in it.
Weibo, I think.
Gotcha. That's one. Yeah, where it's them just trying to keep up with that. Because there are other platforms in other countries where you do everything. You order food, you tip somebody, you send money, you do all that inside of that one app. So it's them just trying to keep up with other countries' banking prospects, is the way I'll put it.
Yeah, I seem to remember when I was still using Facebook so many years ago, there was an option to send people cash using their app, using the Facebook app. I think I tried to send my son some money for his birthday using the Facebook Cash app function, but it didn't work. It went through my bank, but he never collected it at the other end. I don't know if he didn't get the email or something. But and it wasn't long after that I gave up.
Yeah, and their tagline is, Novi from Facebook is a new digital wallet that helps you send and receive money internationally, instantly, securely, and with no fees. So you can help you launder money.
Yeah, because Red's just made a good point in the chat there. They said most likely there will be a fee collected for charging currency too. Yep. So if they're not charging the user the fee, who are they charging?
Nobody. They're getting information and selling it.
There must be someone clipping the ticket somewhere, though.
They don't need to. They're stinking rich.
You think they're going to no? Yeah. Maybe to start off with, but if they get enough volume, so if they get 10 million people a day using it, they're going to start clipping tickets. Guarantee it.
Here's the thing: it probably literally costs them almost no money to do
true.
per transaction. I mean, MasterCard and Visa are right now incredibly stressed about the future of their transaction system because they have to charge 3.5% per transaction. And everyone else is saying we can do it for less.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the kind of thing I really hope is never successful. I really hope nobody is at a family gathering and say, well, I'll just Novi you the money. I'd never want to hear that. If I do, I might
use Venmo at the moment, don't they?
Well, okay, here's the thing. In America, every bank picked what their supported platform is baked into their system to where if you want to instantly transfer money back and forth. My sister-in-law's bank uses Venmo. The bank that my wife uses, her main one, uses something else. I want to say it's called Vutu or something. But so it's their own platform. Now you can transfer between the systems, but once you transfer between the systems, that's where you get dinged where like my wife said, I want to say it was like I want to say it was 1% when it was over $100. She
Right.
got
Yeah.
pinged.
Yeah.
To which I said, why don't you just go to the free surcharge free ATM, pull the money out, and go over her house?
Stick it in your wallet. Yeah.
Yeah. But what do I know?
Well, a lot more than me, anyway. Okay, so my last app I have today is rather boring compared to Novi, but again, something that I found useful. This one's called Web to PDF Nice Converter. And what it does, the reason I became interested in this one is I've had difficulty printing from my Firefox web browser in Android. So I was trying to print a document or a web page, and I could not get an option to print from my Firefox browser. If anybody out there knows how to do it, please let me know. But I had to resort to this. Thanks to Dor for his technical help. So this is done by Oleg Sherimet. It is rated 4.0, and it was last updated on May 26, 2021. 7 meg, 100,000 plus installs, requires Android 4.4 and up, rated for 3 plus, current version 1.5.7. The permissions are not too onerous. It's got photos, media, and files, obviously. It wants to have a look at your storage, and it's got some network and data permissions as well. So the way it works is that basically you share the URL to the app. You have the option then to export it will then convert that to a PDF file. It's got one thing I like about it, it's got a clean view mode, which when you click it, it takes out all the ads, strips out all the junk that you see in a regular website, and will just show you the plain text with a couple of pictures, which is really good. The other thing is it's got you can actually do a search directly in the app as well. So it's got options there for Google, Bing, and Yahoo search engines. But you can just paste in your own URL. Then once you've got the URL in there, it will convert it to a PDF. You can download it and then use your own file manager or whatever application you like to print it, share it to the printer or whatever. There are, I think, 700,000 similar apps on the App Store like this, but this is the one I chose, and it seems to work pretty well for me without requiring too much maintenance on my part.
Very cool. I will say PDF is one of those open standards, and it's very careful how you got to say it because it's not open source. It isn't,
Yep.
GPL. It's none of that. It's an open standard, and what it means is, Adobe, who makes and owns PDFs, they can use the open standard, but that doesn't mean if you write an application against that open standard, you'll be able to open up a PDF because Adobe can do their own stuff to it. And the more complex something is, the more likely it's going to break when it goes to another device. That's one of the things I like about this. That clean view removes all the garbage and simplifies the web page down. The more simpler your PDF is, the more likely it's going to work everywhere with no issues. And the fact that it's basically saving text, because that's the primary thing you want to get out of here, text. The likelihood of it not working someplace else is slim to none. I mean, it's just going to work. And I don't mind having ads in these kinds of apps because these are the kind of apps I literally just load up, use, close, load up, use, close.
Yep. I haven't noticed any ads actually. I mean, it says it contains ads, but I haven't really noticed any ads when I've been using it. I've only used it about 4 times. Right. So the other thing is I used to use Adobe all the time. I used the Adobe Reader App, and that became just so intrusive. Wanted my Google login ID, wanted everything. This one, you don't have to sign up for anything. You just use it. And again, a good little point solution for meeting your needs.
Gotcha. Yeah. Everyone needs these kinds of solutions from time to time. Before in Firefox, all desktop add-ons were loadable. And I don't know when that changed, because when Ivor said, I said, just go load a thing. And when I went and tried, no. Now they have it back in Firefox to only working with a limited number of add-ons, which is a shame.
Mm.
Um,
But one thing I did try was printing from Google Chrome, and even that didn't work. There was at least an option to print from Google Chrome, but it didn't print out. It only printed half of one page and then stopped. So the printing from Google Chrome's gone right downhill. So I just found this was a nice little workaround.
yeah, and what it looks like it might be taking advantage of is in both Chrome and Firefox, you have it's called um, viewer mode in Chrome, and on Firefox it's called reading mode,
Mm-hmm.
where it gets rid of basically all the ads and almost all of the images. It looks like that's what it might be taking advantage of.
Yeah,
which is fair. The next app I'm going to bring, it's not for anybody. How can I put this? This app, if you need this app, you already know you need it. You already got it. This is for if you don't even know it, but because your family member might be doing it. And then what I'm trying to say is, if you have a family member that you love or care about that works for Amazon and you want to keep up to date on the internal Amazon news, I had to say that very carefully. This is basically a self-published app from Amazon to keep track of all of the things going on inside of the company of Amazon. So hypothetically, my wife worked for Amazon. I could load this app and I could keep up to date with things that could be affecting her job. You know what I mean? And then you actually say to her, "Oh man, well, I really hope this change to this doesn't really affect you too bad here in the future." And she'll be like, "How do you know about it?" Well, because I'm keeping up on what is important to you. So if you have a family member or friend that has to work for Amazon or chooses to work for Amazon, this might be a cool app to check out just to keep up with their goings on in their work life.
Okay, who controls the content? Is it Amazon or the workers?
Completely Amazon. From inside
cool.
Amazon Inside Amazon News is the app. Amazon Mobile LLC is the publisher. It's under social T for teen, which means not family friendly content from time to time. 62 reviews, free, no apps, no in-app purchases. 4.6 average reviews because if you give it a downvote, I'm sure they know who you are. Updated August 4th, 2021, 17 megs in size, 10,000 plus installs, current version 4.2.2, 5.0 Android and up. Again, T for teen rating and up. Permission details, location, phone, photo media, storage, microphone, Wi-Fi, device ID. That's why they know who you are. Because,
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. I suppose they force people to install it as well.
Well, it wouldn't shock me if there are certain, let me say this. There are certain grades of Amazon employees that the day you're hired, they give you a phone. Because that phone is a multifunctional scanner tool device on your 9 to 5, and you're obligated when you're in the office to have that device turned on.
Hopefully it's not a Fire phone.
I'm sure it isn't. I'm sure they ran out of stock of them a while ago. Now, after that, if you're out of apps, I was going to bring just a couple, I'll say this, mindless games is the way I'm going to put it. First one I wanted to bring only because it has a different catch than almost every other gaming app I've ever seen in my life. This game is called Get Together, a Coop Adventure. Coop Adventure by Studio Sternek. Adventure, E for everyone. Completely no in-app ads, no in-app purchases. $3.99 US dollars. No reviews. Eligible for Family Library. November 9th, 2021. 175 megs in size. 50 plus installs. Current version 1.0.1.8.80 Android or up. Permissions, it's going to need basically network access, and that is it. Now, this is the catch with this application. If I download it, I can't play it by myself. I have to get somebody else to play with. Okay. Now, this is not for everybody, and this is the way I'll put it. You need to have like a phone call set up, a voice chat set up, a text chat set up, or something set up at the same time as you're playing this game with somebody else. And it's basically a multiplayer puzzle platform where you both have to figure out stuff at like if I figure out one thing, it will open up something for you that then you figure out, then it opens up something for me. So it's definitely an interesting game, and it has. And the article I read on, I believe it was Android Police, maybe, was this game has a ton of hurdles to overcome before you're even playing it. 1, it costs money. 2, you can't play it by yourself. 3, you got to find somebody else willing to play it at the same time you're willing to play it. 4, you have to then set up a text or a voice or a video chat at the same time, and then finally you can start to play this game. But they said it's actually, in their opinion, worth the time.
Okay, so I've got it as $6.50 to buy here. Does it cost that much there? Or?
Now only $3.99 here. The only plus is it's in the family plan. So if you have somebody in your family plan, you buy it once, you get to play it together, kind of thing. I would definitely encourage anybody out there, do not go out of your way to buy this and then convince somebody else to go out there and buy this just to play it. It's, to me, it's going to be really hard to justify like nearly $10 total price in order just to play this by yourself. Or,
I think it's definitely where gaming is going. I mean, surely you end up with you always have the people who want to sit on their own and play a game, but kids nowadays, young fellas, they're going to be talking to each other on the internets and playing a game together. Why not? Yeah.
I'm going to say you're wrong. I know my kids, they either want to play YouTube or they want to play like stupid simulator games on their Oculus stuff. But yeah, I want to say I have another game. Let me see. I want to make sure I'm pulling out the right one. I know that's what she said. I'm going to bring this one out only because I want to say I thought I found it on a free platform where it's like code is open and stuff. This one is called Brainstorm Creativity Trainer by Alexei Gregorkin. Tools, E for everyone. Completely free to download. No in-app ads, no in-app purchases. 16 reviews, 4.6 average reviews. Updated November 30th, 2021. 5.9 megs in size. 5,000 plus installs. Current version 1.0, 6.0 Android and up. Permissions, it wasn't much, I believe. Photos, media, storage, because it needs to save things. To me, this was an interesting way to sit down and go through brainstorming ideas. I do think that there is a benefit to brainstorming. At the same time you're brainstorming, you're actually documenting what you're doing to like follow the path maybe to how you figured out something. So that's what I would say. If you want to have like visual brainstorming sessions on your Android device, I definitely encourage you to check this out. No harm in downloading it, completely free.
It generates ideas to solve clearly defined problems. Okay. We know how difficult it is to start thinking about our life and things around us we should do if we want to make it better. So this little app suggests your daily topics to think about. That's a good idea, isn't it? Your daily topics. Like
partial like journal thing, partial brainstorm thing, partial like meta map.
Yeah.
Like slammed into one.
Yeah, I noticed the developer is Russian. So, yeah.
Right. I do believe this code was GPL'd. I think thought it was.
I'm sure it's fine, but the description is not the best of English, so I'm just wondering if the app itself has got issues with the English language. Could be.
I didn't see any problems.
Okay. Have you been using it?
Basically just downloaded it yesterday, played with it a little bit.
Right. Well, I might give that a go. It looks interesting. It's, certainly the user interface looks good.
Yeah, clean. And
simple.
Yeah, that was the thing that honestly drew me to it. Was it looked like the kind of thing, while it says it's for this one task, it was so clean looking, you could probably use it for different tasks as well.
Yep. Oh, awesome. Okay. Got any more for us there, Dor?
I have one other app, and I don't think it's worth bringing up as well, but
okay. I'm keeping one in the chamber.
Yeah. Well, I'll say it like this. The one thing I also learned, I watched a good thing about Johnny Carson, and purposefully during the monologue, he always made sure that there was 10 times the jokes on the floor than he would say in his monologue. He believed that means I'm only bringing the best. And he said, if I looked at the monologue and I used all the jokes up, no, 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 no. Go write me 20 more jokes.
No, I never watched Johnny Carson. We never got it here.
Mm.
So I've seen interviews he's done on YouTube clips and stuff like that, but never actually watched the whole show.
Well, the good news is you can watch some of them on Tubi and other things like that. The bad thing is, like the first 15 seasons, you can't get. And the last like 10 seasons, you can't get.
No, really? Why's that?
Well, in the first seasons, I believe most of them were just destroyed because they didn't keep copies like they did.
Yeah. Yep.
Somewhere along the line, Johnny Carson got exclusive rights to all the content. He owned everything. Okay.
Right.
And basically almost all the ad revenue that came in went to him. He had the biggest paid deal in the history of TV at his time. So now he owns all the content. His namesake owns everything. His foundation owns everything. One, I'll just say funny thing in air quotes I learned about Johnny Carson was when he died, his namesake, his donated, it was more than 10, I want to say they said it was more than 10 billion total dollars into skeptical and scientific causes.
Oh, wow.
Amongst them, when he died, the JREF, James Randi Educational Foundation, was offering a $100,000 prize to anyone who could prove to a team of independent people that, you can
bend spoons.
You can bend spoons. You can use the dowsing rods to find water or any of that kind of stuff.
Talk to the dead. Yeah, that sort of stuff.
And when Johnny Carson died, the prize went from 100,000 to 1 million.
Yep. Have you ever seen that Randi video? Haven't you? The James Randi video?
I've seen everything James Randi has ever done.
Yeah, he's brilliant, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, he was a beautiful magician early on in his career. His goal was to outdo the man himself. Who Dini suffered a very bad neck spine injury in the milk jug escape routine. Decided I can't do that anymore. Had somebody on the street say to him, "Look, I know you know magic. Help me communicate with my father." And that's when he realized this is a really dangerous game I'm playing. People think I know magic. So then he started to become the debunker, but he hated the name debunker with the passion. He was on shows like That's Incredible, and other shows back in the 70s where he would literally prove to somebody, no, this guy's full of garbage.
Yep.
Yeah. He has no mystical ninja power. He's a liar.
I think he's dead now, isn't he?
He died less than 2 years ago, is what I would say. And if you want to know a really short, sweet story, is what I want to say about his life, it's The Honest Liar. So it's like it's only like an hour, 20-minute long documentary of his life, but unbelievably nice guy. Didn't put through the ringer his entire life, but came out the other side nicer than anybody should have. And Uri Geller. Oh, now the thing about Carson. Carson was a magician early in his day. So when Carson had Uri Geller come onto his show, he literally called up James Randi and said, "How do I get him?"
Yeah. I saw this the other day. It was on Rogan, I think. Absolutely set him up. Yep. And revealed him for the charlatan he is.
Well, it did, but then it didn't do any good because
people still believed it.
Yeah, because they just believed, the negative chi is holding him down. Yeah,
exactly. Well, bullshit. One thing I particularly liked was how he revealed that religious healer as a charlatan using a radio frequency.
God, I can't remember his name, but with his wife behind the stage with the ear.
But that charlatan is still operating at the moment. People still believe him.
I know.
People's capacity for magical thinking, to try and want to believe magical thinking, always amazes. Constantly amazing.
Yeah. Near the end, he realized, no, it doesn't matter what I do. People are going to believe what they want to believe. How about we just promote skepticism? So then he started TAM, the amazing meeting, because he was the amazing Randy. He had the amazing meeting where he would just have multi-day events where people get together, talk about hard science. What are things that are happening? What are things that are interesting? How can we further push science? So, it's one of those things.
Yep.
He did his part.
He certainly did. I don't see anybody else doing it apart from Richard Dawkins. I think he's about the only equivalent. He's on his way out.
Oh yeah, he's old. Yeah, we lost Carl Sagan. Some people
Christopher
like
Hitchens.
Christopher Hitchens. Oh man, listen. Okay, now here's the honest God truth. Robin Williams died. I cried because it was too early, too short. You know what I mean? Betty White died. I didn't cry. That woman had the best damn life of any Hollywood actress ever. Okay.
Yeah, she did.
Christopher Hitchens died. I did cry because he was one of the smartest guys I thought, who put himself out there and said, "Prove me wrong."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Very honestly and bluntly, prove me wrong. And one of the best debates he ever had, I saw, was with his brother.
That's right. Yes, his brother's still doing stuff.
Oh yeah, those two went at it, kind of like brothers do. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you get a chance, look up some of Crystal Hitchens' stuff on YouTube. He's really good.
I've watched everything he's done.
Oh, good.
I've literally sat here till 6 a.m. at nights just watching everything Christopher Hitchens.
Oh, I mean, a wider audience. So
and I really wish I could sit down and read books, because it sounds like some of his books would be really good.
Yeah. Yep. God Is Not Great, I think, is a particularly good one.
Yeah, I told my wife, you might not want to read that book. She said, why? I said, because I'm pretty sure you're going to take that information and use it like ammunition against people. And you might lose
that's
some
what he
friends.
meant it for. That's why he meant why he wrote it.
Right. And I'm like, you might lose some friends over it.
No, well, never mind. Anyway, how do we get onto that subject?
Because the hitch, and the best thing you want to really see, the best Christopher Hitchens, look up Hitch Slap.
Oh yeah, I've seen a few of those. Yeah. He was the master of those.
Yes, and then he would just take a little sip of his whiskey. Yeah, no, scotch. Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool.
Should we have a rundown of the apps?
Sure.
Okay, so the first one we had was called Wild True Learn by Neva International. Second one was Show YouTube Dislikes on F-Droid. And then we had QPrompt, which is on GitHub. Four-Stroke Auto Engine by Mosaic Education. GeoMeet by Geo Platforms Limited. Pushy, again on F-Droid. Novi by Meta Platforms, otherwise known as Facebook. Web to PDF Converter by Oleg Sheramet. And Inside Amazon News by Amazon Mobile LLC. Get Together Co-op Adventure Studio Sternik. And Brainstorm Creativity Trainer by Alexei Grigarlin. Sorry if I got that wrong. Let me just check that. Alexei Grigorkin. Sorry, I couldn't read my own handwriting. So how many got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 apps. It's not a bad roundup for this week.
Night. Well, and I'll say, if you, the listener, have apps that you like, that we missed, that we forgot about, even if it's an oldie and a goodie, never hesitate. Shoot us an email at aaa@podnutz.com. That's the easiest, simplest way to contact us. Do you have any parting words, Ivor?
No, not really. Just keep Androiding, and get in touch with us if you really want to give us some app ideas or anything that you think is interesting in tech news. Let us know, and we'll bring it to the show.
Awesome, very cool. Yeah, and I'll just summarize how I feel. What Christopher Hitchens wanted the end result of every communication he had with anyone is just love everybody. There's no reason not to. Take it easy, everyone.
Good one to end on, Dor.
We will talk to you next week. Did I hit the wrong? Hey, let me come back. Yeah, because that's the whole thing. The two are not mutually exclusive. You can love somebody and call them stupid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My wife frequently does.
I understand. My wife, she's really nice. Yeah. She doesn't have to be, but she is. Okay, so let's stop. File. Oh man, my nose is still a little ballistic.
Yeah, I mean, for someone who's suffering from a deadly disease, Joe, I say you're holding up pretty well.
Well, the Omicron, like literally no one is going to the ER unless you have extreme comorbidities is the correct term. If you have extreme things, like you suffer greatly from diabetes, greatly from um, um, asthma, greatly from these things, then if you get it, you're going to go to the hospital. But otherwise, you're not going close to a hospital. Like Alpha, Beta, Delta, Omicron, they're literally going up from deep into your lungs to now only the bronchial tubes and the back of your throat. Like the top 4 symptoms with Omicron is headache, body ache, sore throat, cough. And I'll take that any day over
that's my regular. I call that Thursday.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, like 2019 Thanksgiving, I had pneumonia, and when I got the X-ray, the lady was like, literally a third of this lung is filled, and half of this lung is filled with, whatever infection.
Goop. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No wonder I can't stop coughing. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Wow. That's pretty bad, actually.
Yeah, I know.
So have you got Omicron or have you got Delta?
Well, the way it works is when they swab you and take the test, they only test whether or not you are infected or not. The reason being, it costs almost $1,000 to figure out which variant it is. So at least here in the U.S., what they do is in Maryland, it's 1 out of, I think, 1,000 positive test cases. They rip off the name of the container, they anonymize the sample, and then they put it through the machine to figure out what variant you have. And then they take the percentages of each one and, say, well, that's probably the average thing. In the state of Maryland here, the last 2 weeks, Delta has plummeted to where now 95% of cases are Omicron.
So I wonder what's going to happen to Delta now. Is it just going to go away?
I would say the experts I listen to say it cannot exist as long as Omicron is around. It's going to literally disappear.
Yeah, because people develop the immunity from Omicron.
Yeah, and Omicron does give greater resistance versus the other ones, not only Omicron, and I want to say they said 13 times more infectious than Delta.
Wow.
Yeah. Explains why it's completely overtaking Delta.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's less virulent, so we'll take that any day.
Yep. And even though me, my wife, my oldest son, my sister-in-law, her boyfriend, 2 of their kids all had symptoms. They were all, only like 1 of them were actually bedridden for any time.
So yeah, have you, your kids got it too, didn't you? And your wife?
That's my oldest and my wife, yeah.
Yeah. So you all had to isolate in your house?
Yeah.
They didn't send you off to an internment camp?
Well, they said
they could do it in Australia.
They said if you are vaccinated 5 days with symptom free, then you can go back out. My wife being the wife, if she doesn't do her job, nobody else will. So she literally didn't miss 1 day of work.
No.
But she believes that's where she got it anyway. So she's not infecting anybody who already wasn't exposed. And from the sounds of it, yep, it was definitely her job. Not it to everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, it's inevitable, isn't it? Everyone's going to get it.
And that's what the experts are saying with Omicron. There is no avoiding it. It's just a question of when. Or with the previous one, you at least had a chance to not get it. Yeah, so what they said, the real question is, in 3 to 4 weeks, what's it going to look like? 6 to 8 weeks, what's it going to look like? Some experts are saying it's going to almost disappear, except for countries that have extreme lockdowns.
Yep.
I don't know. Don't want to say I don't know who to listen to.
Yeah, it's difficult.
I don't want to assume. Well, the one thing that Carl Sagan did teach me is you never ever believe one person knows everything. Question everything. Take what everyone says as a grain of salt and come up to your own solution. I thought he would have been the guy who would have said, trust experts.
Well, yeah. Not these days. Jeez.
Yeah. As long as you don't believe InfoWars is okay. Does InfoWars even exist anymore?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Alex Jones has got his own platform. He's making millions of dollars. He's doing all right.
I know he was making damn good money. Buy seeds, buy gold.
That's how you can tell a grifter is, can't you?
And I really don't want to say more power to him, but I believe in absolute freedom of speech. And absolute freedom of speech means he has every right to say what he wants to say, and everyone has every right to listen to him and believe what he says. I don't want to tell anybody what to believe. That there's exactly, socialism, communism.
That's communism. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm really happy I don't live in China. I mean, I can't imagine to literally grow up in a society where hallmarks, cornerstones of factual stuff in the free world, you just don't even know.
Yeah. Well, here it's, we don't have a constitution like yours. We have a constitutional system, but we don't have guaranteed right to free speech. We don't have a guaranteed right to bear arms. Our government 2 years ago made it illegal for me to own a firearm.
Yeah.
If I want to get a firearm, it can only be a hunting rifle. I can't get an AR-15 or a MP4 or anything like that. And I have to check with the police. So, there are certain reasons that are acceptable for owning a firearm. Self-defense is not one of them.
Right.
So yeah, I think once you've got a population you've got a population like America where there are a lot of guns owned by citizens, the government thinks twice about doing shit.
Well, it's one of those things like Vermont has an incredibly high gun ownership rate, and it has a very low violent crime rate. And that's what people say. It's because the people know if I try to commit a crime, someone's going to pull out a gun.
Yeah, and most of the gun violence happens in the inner cities where the poverty is a huge problem.
And so that's the thing. And and I love my wife, but I tried to explain to her, no other country has free speech. And I said, the UK does not have free speech. She said, yes, it does. No,
it doesn't.
If you speak ill of the Queen, you can be arrested for it. Period. That's not freedom of speech.
The other thing is with the UK, if you want to sue someone for slander or libel or whatever it is, you have to prove that what you said was right, not what they're saying is wrong.
Right.
The onus is on the defendant basically to prove they're innocent rather than the person who's doing the libel.
Right. Yeah.
It's weird.
We have innocence till proven guilty. We have no sentence until conviction. And I tried to explain that to her. There are countries where you are sentenced to be in jail before the conviction is even met. She's like, no, they're not. Yes, there are actually. I said, now, like one thing that the UK has over us is their what's it called? Their accuracy in ads and TV and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They have to have non-biased news. Yeah, requirements. So they have to show both sides of a news story. Yeah, and they have to have accuracy. Yeah.
Well, and like the copper magnet bands to protect your oar and chakra, you cannot sell on UK television because it's crap. We're here in the US, you can sell anything on an ad. They don't care.
Yeah, yeah. I think you only got rid of that recently, though. I think it was about 1980s or 1970s. You got rid of that requirement.
Yeah, here you can say
Yeah.
anything, man.
Yeah.
Hence, InfoWars. So did anybody type any show names in there?
Well, I got Microsoft Kryptonite and Gun Cuckoo Crazy. We could throw something in about Johnny Carson.
Oh, there it is. Okay, hold on. 579. Copy. Delete, 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 delete. Got it. Wait, come on. Okay. There you go. Okay. What's the first one you said?
Microsoft Kryptonite.
Microsoft Kryptonite. That's true. I like that one because it's true.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man. All right, I gotta run to the bathroom, Ivor.
Okay. Well, I might just stop it there.
Okay. Thanks for hanging out, man.
All right. Good to see you again.
Damn good stuff.
And Josh, you should have been here.
Yeah. See ya.
Okay. Bye, chat room.
And if you've been jabbed, you're more likely to get it. No, that's not true, Red. Well, no matter what, you're going to get it. That's the whole thing. Question is, when will Washington and MSN tell the truth? Answer: never. Yeah. Well, never expect any news. News always just wants to drive clicks, drive rage, drive attention. And Washington can't be honest with itself. Yeah, hunting rifles are, because hunting big game requires big bullets. That's the way I put it. Oh man, how's that? I gotta fix that. Maybe this. That's what it was. Damn. Okay. Oh man. Well, since the beginning of the government until now, we keep giving up rights. It isn't that the government keeps taking rights away. We keep giving rights away. The perfect example is the Patriot Act, which is giving away rights, just giving them away. And every time something drastic happens, the people in the middle throw up their arms and say, do whatever you need to do. And the government does. And that involves taking away rights, taking away privileges, taking away permissions. I digress. All right, Ren, I'm going to hop off here, go to the bathroom, and publish this thing and get it published. Take it easy, guys.